Welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'll be going through my team selection for double game week 36. Kicking off the team in goal, I've gone for Jason Steele for his two fixtures away to Arsenal and Newcastle. It's a tough call on who to start in goal this week, because my other keeper is Bernd Leno, who faces Southampton away, and the Saints have only won 2 out of their last 17 home matches this season. 2 fixtures for Steele is swaying my decision towards starting the Brighton keeper this week, mainly due to the fact that he's got a higher chance of gaining save points, and Brighton are a good side who always have the chance of picking up a clean sheet. Kieran Trippier's last return in FPL was when he picked up a clean sheet, assist and all 3 bonus points in the match against Man United back in game week 29. Although he's been a frustrating asset for our FPL teams over the past couple of months, he looks to be a hold till the end of the season, especially with a double this week. I find it hard to believe with the number of crosses Trippier puts into the box that he hasn't picked up more assists recently, but I think that he'll pick up another attacking return before the end of the campaign. With 7 consecutive returns in the Premier League, Alexander-Arnold is slowly coming back to the player we were all familiar with from previous seasons. The Liverpool right-back seems to be cherishing his new role as a creative central midfield player, having picked up 6 assists since game week 30. And with the return of players like Jota and Luis Diaz from injury, Liverpool have started to become a free-scoring side again. I probably wouldn't expect a clean sheet from Trent against Leicester, but the Foxes are vulnerable at the back, so hopefully he can assist via a through ball. With back-to-back 1-0 defeats away from home, it's been a frustrating week as a Luke Shaw owner in FPL, especially with the way in which United conceded against both Brighton and West Ham. Having said that, Wolves have only won 2 away games out of 17 so far this campaign, and they've only scored 12 goals across those matches. Another reason why I'm keen to start Shaw this week is because Man United have kept 5 consecutive clean sheets at Old Trafford, and some of these came against decent attacking sides in Villa, Brentford and Leicester. With 7 goals in his last 7 matches, including 3 double-digit hauls, Mo Salah joins the team for Liverpool's away encounter with Leicester. There is an argument to say that Salah is a good captain option this week, as the Foxes have conceded 59 times already this season, but I just think there are better options elsewhere, and you never know which Liverpool side will show up away from home. With ongoing rotation among Liverpool's front 3, Salah looks to be the one who will get the most minutes from now until the end of the season, having started in all but 1 game throughout the 22-23 Premier League campaign. After an impressive run of form following the Premier League restart in December, which included 6 goals and 5 assists, the returns have dried up a considerable amount for Mitoma lately, having blanked in his last 5 fixtures. With that being said, Mitoma's goal involvement numbers are still impressive, and he definitely passes the eye test when watching Brighton play. The Seagulls have come up against some strong opposition lately, and Arsenal and Newcastle will be no easy task, but you have to fancy the Japanese international to return something across this game week. After injuries to the likes of Joel Veltman and Pascal Gross, it was frustrating from an FPL point of view to see Alexis Mac Allister being moved back into a more defensive midfield role, and as expected, his goal involvement numbers, especially his XG, was hugely affected. However, we saw in the game against Man United just how important having set pieces is, especially in a tight match, and Mac Allister's FPL points jumped from 3 to 11 in the blink of an eye right before the final whistle after converting the penalty. There's a question of who the top 3 Brighton assets are to go for, but I see no reason to use a free transfer to swap Mac Allister out. Although he's failed to return in his last 2 Premier League matches, I'm not too concerned in owning Marcus Rashford in FPL for the remainder of the season, especially as United have a double game week in 37, and 3 of their 4 remaining fixtures come at home against Wolves, Chelsea and Fulham. Rashford has returned in 3 consecutive home matches. He generally plays 90 minutes every game, and with players like Eriksen and Fernandes in the side, he's never short of having chances created for him. Along with numerous players in my team, Rashford could be another outside punt for captaincy this week, with Phil Foden being just 2% owned around my rank. It was a massive shame to see Gundogan fail to convert the penalty that he won in the game against Leeds. Having said that, it was great to see Foden back in the starting lineup and playing a full 90 minutes. Although it's near impossible to predict Pep when it comes to lineups, my thought is that Bernardo Silva and Grealish start on the wings for City against Madrid in the week, so Foden should be fully rested and available for selection for the away match against Everton. If he weren't to start, I'm more than happy with my bench options to come on in his place. Joining the team for the first time this season is Alexander Isak for Newcastle's double game week against Leeds and Brighton. Last week I had a decision to make over who to bring in out of Isak and Wilson. In the end I went for Isak because he's able to play as both a striker and on the left wing, and as a result he gets far more minutes than Wilson on the pitch. If both players were to be on the pitch at the same time, then I'd expect Wilson to take penalties if the Magpies were to get one. But we should also take into account his injury record across his career. Weighing up all these factors, I marginally favour Isak between the two. It's a tough call over who to select for captaincy this week. For me it's between Isak and Haaland, but currently I've given the armband to the City forward. With a blank for Haaland last week in the match against Leeds, I think many fantasy managers will favour a player from either Newcastle or Brighton for the armband, who obviously both have 2 fixtures. I just think with the difficulty of Brighton's fixtures and the uncertainty over who starts in both matches for Newcastle, I'm leaning towards trusting the Norwegian in his single fixture. I expect Haaland will start this game, as City can't afford to slip up if they want to be crowned Premier League champions. So making the bench this weekend is Leno, Solanke, Castagna and Neco Williams. I've got 1 free transfer this week, and looking at the team I think I'm comfortable rolling it into next week and bringing 2 free transfers into the bigger double game week 37. There is the option to target a third Newcastle player or bring in someone like Bruno Fernandes, but I think I like the look of how my team is lining up, and I can't really see an area that needs altering. Foden is the key differential in the team, and if he were to miss out, at least Solanke is good cover with an away trip to Palace. And that concludes the Game Week 36 team selection. What do you make of the team? Let me know down below, and as always, if you have a question regarding your own team, then drop that down below in the comments as well. Thanks so much for watching, and I wish you all the best for the upcoming game week.